Cool. Okay. So, yeah, in terms of updates, I've been quite sick for the past 2 weeks, so it's quite lean. But long story short, I heard of a new community bug that I'm looking into. Somehow, a community managed to get rid of their owner, which is not something you're supposed to be allowed to do. So, I'm looking into that. Meanwhile, I'm putting my head against the CI changes in HiveMind. As I talked about it in chat yesterday, the somehow I cannot get the results anymore. So that's something that's worrying. I mean, worrying. That's something we'll need to look into. And yeah, more bug fixings, and then I'll be back to the beneficiaries reward updates.
Okay, so I was actually confused about that part about the. So I was able to download the artifacts from that job. Did you see the download button on the side?
Yeah, when I'm basically you can download some artifacts, but it's mostly a bunch of logs that are kind of useless. In theory, I mean, what I'm looking into is the actual test results. Previously, in the artifacts, there was the let's say the XML and the JSON files that showed the actual tests that were failing. And also on GitLab, you could see a full test result that will be displayed. I can show you an example after the meeting
Well,
if
I
you
mean,
want.
I know what the normal test results. I didn't bother to look at the test results because I thought you just said you couldn't download the artifacts, and I was able to
Yeah.
download.
Oh, sorry. I meant these specific artifacts are missing. um,
Okay, yeah, we can. I'll look into that offline. We can talk about it, I guess.
but yeah, that's mostly what I'm walking into right now.
Okay, so we're still just, I guess, doing final testing. We've ran into one issue with HiveMind that showed up on two of our test systems, and it's for some reason it stalled during massive sync and on both of those systems. I'm not sure we're going to be able to repeat it anymore, so it may have been a one-time occurrence because it happened at the same time on both systems. So maybe it's something very strange. Um, so we've been trying to debug that for the past couple of days, just try to figure out what's going on there. But other than that, I think everything looks pretty good. I mean, I think we're pretty much ready for a release, or at least a new release candidate prior to the release. So my plan is to I'm syncing up new versions of everything now, and I'm going to start serving the data from api.hive.blog off the new code, and that'll give people a chance to some of the apps guys a chance to test their code against our server and also against other servers and see if they have any differences. Now we've been using Go Replay to check the differences between the API responses from the new code and the old code, and everything was pretty much as expected. We found a few small bugs in the new code, but those are fixed at this point. And the remaining differences are actually tend to be bug fixes in the new code versus the old code. So everything looks good at this point in terms of the responses of all the API calls. So I think we're, like I said, we'll run it. We'll run the release candidate for a couple, maybe a week, just see if anybody reports a problem. But if not, we'll just go ahead and release everything. I don't know if there's any questions about that.
I'm not sure about the get account history feedback about decreasing the limit to reasonable amount. Do you have any feedback from?
No one said anything, but I
accounts?
mean, it's a straightforward change for them. So it's not like it won't work if they don't do that. It'll be lower performance. So it'll be obvious that they'll want to fix it. So I don't anticipate any real problem. But yeah, no one said anything about it being a problem for them. So I took that to mean there wasn't. I mean, I don't know what else to do.
Yes, no other choice. Just
I can say here's the thing that needs to be changed, and let me know if there's a problem with that.
actually,
But
that's
no,
not a breaking change. I mean, breaking
no, it
break.
doesn't break
It's just
anything per se. It's just a performance issue. If they ask for 1,000 operations, they don't really want 1,000 operations. Um, it won't be good for them because they'll get more data than they really want to deal with, and it won't be good for us because they're asking for us for more data than reasonably needs to be asked for. But I don't see it as it's not a critical problem, and I think it's an easily fixed problem. So I'm not really too worried about it.
Silence usually means yes. So
Yeah, that's the way I took it.
yeah, but it's actually, I mean, it's a great change. I mean, I liked how you handled this, because it's making things easier to just fetch a specific type of transactions much quicker, and I mean, it makes a lot of sense. So
Yeah, I mean,
so yeah,
it should be better for everybody. And we would have done it this way at the beginning if we could have. It was just that the old technology that was, for the account history just couldn't. We tried it and it just didn't perform well.
yeah,
It
yeah.
put too much of a load on HiveD.
By the way, speaking of this update, I just want to ask you, we're running the Hive-D instance using the Half server, as you're aware now. So
Mhm.
it's running perfectly, but HiveMind, I've had a lot of issues with it. I don't know, whenever we are close to sync and we actually reach the sync for HiveMind and we start serving the whole server, all the services,
Mhm.
I think there is some issue that causes some malfunctioning in the database. I don't know if it's an old issue because I had to wipe the data again and restart the HiveMind sync separately without making any change to the HiveD. But I don't know if I should do a JIT pull again and just fetch any changes, because I remember you guys worked on a new script with a disregard fiat. I don't know how this might affect the current setup that I have for the server. Should I go ahead with this? Just do a JIT pull and update everything? And I'm just concerned of breaking Hive-D and doing a resync for another few days. That'll be a bit
Yeah, I
terrible.
understand. I would say wait, because what we're about to, once we tag all the release candidates, you're definitely gonna want to update at that point because there have been fixes that you don't have yet. Um, but when you do that, we're also going to make available snapshots. So
Oh, excellent, excellent.
you'll be able to
Yes.
just download a snapshot.
Okay, so I'll wait. I'll just hope that HiveMind will be able to sync within, I mean, a couple of days now. If it doesn't, then I'm just gonna wait for you guys to
Yeah, I'd
provide.
say it's wait. I mean, I'm going to run a new I'm going to run a new sync of the new HiveMind today. I'm going to start it actually, and so I expect it's going to take about 3 days to sync, and after that we'll put it up and make it available.
Also, then we all will profit from you running those release candidate versions because there will be more eyes on those specific versions.
Yes, for sure. Yep. So we'll so about 3 days we'll have the new stack up, and 3-4 days, give it in that range. And at that point, we'll, like I said, I'll tag all the releases probably tomorrow. I think I've tagged a bunch of them already, but just unofficially. But probably tomorrow I'll tag everything, and so if anybody wants to try it on, before we have the the snapshots available, they can do it they can run it on their local machines. I mean, their own machines, or they can wait for the snapshot once it's up.
Okay, excellent, excellent. And another question, I noticed something whenever I'm loading Hive-D and I download the artifacts file, it never accepts the artifacts file. It gives me an error on the current version, and it recompiles the artifacts file on its own. Is this something common, or is this something happening just on my server?
No, that's not common. It's usually check the artifacts file. It always does a check of the artifacts file. But
Yeah.
if the artifacts, so are you downloading what are you downloading?
I actually go to Gandalf's site and I just pick, I pull both files together, so the artifacts and the log file, and I put those into the blockchain directory, and I just start the replay. And
Okay,
every
so
single time I get the error of the
Yes,
artifacts.
and it will be like that because there's no way that you can have a block log and at the same time artifacts file that matches that block log.
are
Because
you
either file will be
are you
newer
updating yours
than the other.
constantly? Are you constantly updating the one that he's downloading, Gandalf?
Yes, it's a live artifact.
That's
So
what I thought, man. It came to my mind. I mean, it's not gonna work because they're not gonna be in sync. That's what I thought.
Well, no, I mean they should. Well, if it was what I would have done, which is just periodically take two files and copy them over there, but you're getting live ones that are, I mean, the other
Yeah.
option would be to just have one that doesn't change all the time, and then they're perfectly matched.
Yeah, it's for weak links, but this. Okay, so
You would save us few hours, Gandalf.
okay, so
Wait, it takes
the-
you a few hours to generate an artifacts file?
I don't know. I think so. Yeah, probably maybe
what?
an hour or
Oh
two.
no, that's okay. So so you really don't want to download over and over again the BlockLog file from my side, because you most likely have perfectly fine BlockLog on your side of things. So once you downloaded BlockLog, it just keep a copy on your side, and then you can safely re-get the missing part, or just use the file that you have on
Yeah,
the
I
other
mean, you don't
instance.
really need an up-to-date block log. A block log that's, even weeks or old is not any kind of problem. It'll catch up to date very, very quickly. So
Oh,
once you have a block log,
you think the catch up will be faster than actually grabbing a
oh,
new
for
block log?
sure.
Oh,
Okay.
definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Because
Yeah, no.
there's when you download from my server, it's max you can get the speed of my server, and with peer-to-peer network, you are getting it from all other peers. Of course, in case of downloading from my site, you are not validating it, which is nice because it means you trust me, but you shouldn't. And when you are doing it from peer-to-peer, it's validated. That's why it's slightly slower, but
Yeah,
yeah, I
it's
think
quite fast
nowadays
nowadays.
it's not a big deal. So
Yeah, it's not like it used to be. It used to be a pretty slow process, but we speeded the heck up out of the synchronization process.
Yeah. I mean, I noticed. It has sped up magnificently, and I really love this. But I mean, still, I mean, whatever time we can save,
Oh,
I'm more
absolutely,
than
yeah.
happy.
So
Okay,
so basically what you should do is get the block log from Gandalf, generate the artifacts file one time, and then just save it off somewhere so you just have that. And then anytime you need to restart or resync, you can just copy it
Just
back
reuse
over and
them.
use that.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. I'm trying to think of anything else worth mentioning. I don't know if anybody had any questions about anything I wrote in the last post about changes that would be required or differences that are coming on with the new stack. I don't know if everything was clear.
No, not really. I think it's looking good. But I had a question actually about the Block Explorer. How much progress we're making there? I mean, we're eager to
Actually, very. In fact, we're going to release that as part of the initial release.
Awesome.
So I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to fit it in, but originally it was still a little slow in my opinion. It was taking around 72 hours to sync, and now it's to like maybe 16 hours or something like that on our fast machine. So it's gotten quite fast now, and we've also dramatically reduced how much storage space it takes up. So it's actually very, very compact now, relatively speaking. So I don't think there's no reason why all the API nodes shouldn't run the Block Explorer backend at least. They don't, maybe not necessarily the front end, but that's up to them, of course. But at least the back end, and hopefully we'll have a bunch of people running the front end too. So that will leave us with a bunch of distributed nodes able to basically act as a common Block Explorer.
Yes, exactly. We're looking forward to that. We really want to run our own instance of Block Explorer. So yeah, hopefully on this next update.
Yeah, and that's definitely one of the apps that we're going to just default. So we'll even have as part of the snapshot, we'll have that in the snapshot. Let's see. Any other questions? I don't really have a whole lot else to report. I mean, we've been doing a lot of stuff, but it's just detailed stuff. I don't think it's going to be interesting to you guys particularly.
Yeah, I don't have anything else on my end, apart from like the whole CIA thing, but we can take that offline.
Okay. Anybody else have anything they want to report in terms of work they've been working on or questions they have?
Oh, there is a request for homework from Cream. She's asking about a roadmap, decentralized kind of roadmap that we should all think how to contribute in a way that we can present in some high-level roadmap from
Okay.
our apps. So I guess we can think on that before the next meetup, or preferably earlier, because I think
Yeah, we should have.
need that,
I guess
yeah.
we can discuss it in the various chat channels and stuff, and just
Yes.
start contributing. I mean, it sounds like what we really just want to do is collect a bunch of information about what everybody's planning to do next, and just sort of so we all know what each other's working on.
Yeah, so
That
plans
sounds like a
for
good idea.
2024.
Yeah, sounds like a good
It can
idea.
be as simple as a meeting, not minutes, pre-meeting minutes or schedule or something, and it could be a Google Doc and just put a few points, bullet points, and make it for discussion.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm probably not going to be able to work on my part of that until at least after I get this release out. But like I said, hopefully that's finished up this week, at least where we can start thinking about other things.
Looking forward, man. Looking forward.
Okay, anybody else have anything? If not, I guess we'll call it a meeting.
Should we talk about our suggestions about sunsetting reputation?
Oh, I just saw that. That came up yesterday, or I think I didn't really read it tightly. I guess so I didn't read it closely. I just read that there was some discussion of maybe dropping reputation or doing something else.
Mm-hmm.
I guess my feeling on it is reputation, while it's fundamentally flawed, and we all know that, it still serves a useful purpose for the moment. So I don't think it makes sense to drop it per se. Somebody won't. I mean, there's obviously various things we could try to do to improve it, but nothing really straightforward for me. I don't know if anybody has any particular ideas they want to suggest. That's fine, but
So
I tend to think the base system is completely broken, so I don't think an easy fix comes.
my main suggestion is, instead of is basically capping it so that we don't have to do unnecessary calculations. So basically,
I would. That makes perfect sense to me. That's actually.
Like,
I don't know how much it will save us, but
because basically, if we cap it as like 60 and like at 0, because after 65-ish, it's basically exponential, and so it's basically meaningless. So my whole suggestion is to cap it between 0 and 65, and after that, like HiveMind stops calculating, and that would potentially save us a bunch of processing.
Gandalf, what was your?
Well, maybe not as low as 65, maybe 70, but
Okay, yeah,
yes.
70, 75, somewhere around
because
there.
then it gets really ridiculous. I mean,
Yeah, okay.
some scammers quickly gets above my reputation level that I have for years, and this new nickname that I don't even realize that.
You don't want to lose that, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I guess we need to figure out a number, but maybe also just find out how much difference it really makes. So we could try it as a change. How would you want to? I don't know if it's something you just want to try as a change, and just flip in a code change and then see how that performs.
I haven't looked at the reputation code in a while, so but I
think one thing that's important to mention is that we're actually stripping out the reputation code into a separate half app.
Ah.
So it may solve the whole issue from that point of view.
Yeah, it's true, because it's mostly in regards to the HiveMind performance at this point, really. And so if it could be part of a separate app and potentially even run it like optionally for nodes, that may solve the whole issue.
Yeah, so let's see how that work plays out, and then we can revisit this after that.
Yeah, I am down for that.
Makes sense, yes.
Does it really have such an impact on performances?
Yeah, it's huge, because you have to compute all of the posts and all of the votes, basically. Whenever you make a post and whenever you get a vote, you have to compute the reputation aspect on it. It's less the case now, but when we took over from Steam to Hive, that was the number one like performance hog on HiveMind.
Like 10 hours of computations.
Yeah, it's insane.
Wow. You know, for us as ActiveIt front end, we don't have that reputation at all. We have a different system for us, but I mean, it didn't make much sense for us because how it works now. Maybe in the future, if it changes, we can implement this if there is an alternative implementation via HiveMind. But yeah, for now, I mean, it doesn't it's giving you some sort of an age and activity of the user on the platform, but you get downvotes, you're going down, so it doesn't make much sense from our perspective. But yeah, we're all for whatever the community decides.
It's not for developing new fancy solution, just making quick fix. So we don't have to spend time on that because it's beyond repair, the old system. So
Yeah.
just quick fix.
Yes.
Maybe a patch is fine. if there's a good patch, that's why not? Okay, well, like I said, let's wait till the reputation app gets finished up. I doubt it'll take that long, honestly, and then we'll see where we go from there.
All right, I'm down for that. Neat. That's some good progress there. Yeah, I don't have anything else. Do you guys have anything else? Otherwise, we'll just close the meeting.
Sounds good. Thank you for the updates, guys.
Thanks, guys. Good talking to you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.